Do not apply for any credit cards until you watch this video, because I'm going to break down and expose some of the tricks that credit card lenders actually use that they don't want you to actually know. And you want to know how I know? You ever read that really small print on those approvals or on your statements? Yeah, neither did I. And there's so much valuable information and gems in it that it goes over all of our heads because the average person does not read that. So I'm going to expose and show some of the information that they probably don't want you to know because we probably didn't pay attention to it. So go ahead. Go get your pen and paper. I promise you I'll wait right here. And without further ado, let's dive in. And before we get started, ladies and gents, I just want to ask if you don't mind hitting that like button for me, as it helps my channel out a ton. I truly appreciate all your support. I'm really trying to help every credit card issuer out there with some of this information so they can be up on game as well. Now, enough of me rambling. Let's actually get into the credit card information. All right, and now as far as this list, some you might know on here and some you might not, but I'm going to go into detail on each and every one and how you can actually implement this to your credit card journey and your credit card life or whoever lender that you're with, okay? So let's start with the first one, with number one being, in fact, that you can change your interest rate on your credit card. Yes, it's for all of my people that have these credit cards that have very, very high interest rates. You can, in fact, change them. You can call your credit card company customer service and ask them for a credit migration and have your interest rate possibly lowered. Now, disclaimer, you cannot do this on specific cards like subpar credit cards, like Open Skies or anything like that. And you cannot call them and ask them to change your interest rate to 5%. And if your payment history has been terrible with them, they definitely not going to change a darn thing for you. So just please understand this before you call up there and say, how to told me to change. I could change my interest rate, so change my interest rate. So don't do that. Don't do that. You have to make sure that you've been a great customer with them and you've been making on-time payments for a long time, okay? So again, you cannot call and tell them what interest rate you would like. This is not a credit limit increase, people. You should only call if you've been an excellent customer or if you're in a financial hardship and you don't want to miss any payments and you don't want to mess up the relationship with them. They will either change it for you or they will change your due date, which goes into my next secret, which is you can change your due date and statement closing date on your credit cards. And of course, I know some people know this, but a lot of people who don't, let me explain. I've done this with every last one of my credit cards, whether it's personal or business. I have to do this to make sure I don't miss any payments, okay? I like to make sure all of my, dates are relatively kind of close, but that's besides the point. If you speak to a representative at whatever bank that you bank at and you ask them to change the dates for financial hardship or just because, just make sure that you ask them for the new date and your statement closing date, okay? Please, two important dates. Now, the next secret that you probably didn't know is you can actually get your late payment fee waived. Yes, I said waived. I've seen this in real time. If you ever forget to make a payment and it's been over 30 days, then you will most certainly get hit with a fee. Sometimes they hit you with a fee even after the due date, which is, I've been hit 2 days after, things of that nature. But you got to understand, with each bank, that could be a very, very hefty fee. It can range from $8 all the way to 40 something dollars. I've even seen something that was $120. So you have to understand that these fees can really rack up a lot of money. And when this happens, you can actually go into your portal on your app and message a rep and ask them, can this late fee be waived due to it being an honest mistake, and it will not happen again. Now, disclaimer, if you have been a bad customer, meaning that your payment history has not been good with them, has not been consistent, and you have not been making your payments on time, then there's a strong possibility that they'll tell you that this fee is valid, okay? Because now you don't want to be on the bad side of these lenders. So make sure that you're on the good side, making all of your payments on time so that when this thing actually happens, you can get these fees waived with no problem. They'll tell you, hey, it's no problem. Just try not to let it happen again, but we'll definitely waive this fee, because I would want to keep $80 to $100 in my pocket so you can, again, possibly keep some extra money in your account. Also, guys, if in the past you have been a not so great customer with these lenders due to late payments, collections, and things of that nature, and you need to get them off your credit report, then what I want you to do is sign up for the How to Credit Restoration Program, where I'm helping all of my clients remove their negatives without them having to lift a finger, okay? And then on top of that, once you get in the program, program, I coach you on the positive side to make sure that your profile identifies your score. Because just like I said in a lot of my videos, it's not about your score, it's about your profile. So now you don't have to continuously get subpar credit cards. You can get approved for high limit credit cards, Amexes, Chase, and things of that nature. You gotta have good credit, ladies and gents. So what I want you to do is click the link in my bio so you can sign up for a free 15-minute consultations to see if you're eligible for the program, so we can clean up your credit and get you on the road to 700. Sign up, it's free. But enough of that, let's get back to the video. Another secret credit card companies hope that you don't read within the fine print is due to them telling you that they can close your account at any time that they feel ready. Now, no, I'm not telling you if you've been doing a pretty good job and they just look at you and they just feel like, nah, we just want to close this person's account even though you've been doing everything right. No, I'm not talking to you. This is more geared to inactivity. If a credit card company notices that there has been no activity on your account for a while, they have the right to shut your credit card down. How do I know? Let me talk from experience. I know this because I had a BHG business credit card with a $29,000 limit. Yes, $29,000. And I forgot about it. Why, you might add, is because I was just using other business credit cards at the time. And then in my head, I thought, well, I'll just have the BHG credit card, business credit card, if my back is against the wall and I actually need to use it. So I'll just keep it in my back pocket or in the back of my sock drawer or anything of that nature. Well, it was almost a year, and because of that, I got a very extensive letter and an email stating that we're gonna shut your credit card down due to inactivity. And I was really upset because that $29,000 was really dope to have, and I didn't use it, and they took it away from me. Come to think about it, that's why I always wonder how the credit card gurus keep all of their credit cards active. Because if you watch some of the YouTubers on it, there's people that have like binders of credit cards, and I have like a system when it comes to my credit cards. I don't have a binder, so I always wonder, how do these people continuously keep all these active, not getting inactivities? And I don't know, having 60 credit cards is crazy, but anyway. So again, ladies and gents, just make sure that you use the card at least 1 to 3 times that year to show that you didn't forget about the card, just like I did. All right, and the last one is understanding that the credit bureaus will report your information on this date and not your due date. Okay, now some people might know this, but I still get people on these calls that really don't know this, and that's okay. But like I stated earlier in the video, I spoke about your statement closing date. So know that this is the exact date the credit bureaus get your report from your lender, okay? People think that your due date is the date that they report to the credit bureaus, and that's far from the truth. The due date is just for the issuer. So for example, if your issuer is Chase, your due date is just for Chase. Your statement closing date is for the credit bureaus. The due date is to make sure that you can make your payment. No matter how you make it, they just want to make sure that you can make it, whether it's the minimum balance or a little more. Next, the statement closing date is for the date that they report to Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax, okay? That is when they do everything. That's the date to say, hey, Johnny made his payment, so this is how much he paid, so he doesn't owe, etc., etc. It's not 30 days late, blah, 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 blah. So again, ask for that date if you don't have it already, okay? And make sure that you do not use that card in the time frame, because if you add expenses on that card while it's in the limbo phase of getting reported to the credit bureaus, sometimes they will report that balance. Trust me, I know. So for example, if your due date is the 15th and your statement closing date is the 18th, don't use it on the 17th, okay? They probably will report that to the credit bureaus. So overall, these are some of the bullet points to keep in the back of your mind. So if you have to tell Siri to remind you to make these payments, to know when your statement closing date is, please let her know so she can tell you, okay? Now go back and read all the fine print on your credit cards to make sure that you're not missing any gems as well. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Did you guys already know these? Is there some that you didn't know? Is there some that I actually missed? Let me know in the comment section. I want to appreciate you guys for stopping by. And until next time, ladies and gents.